What up, everybody, and welcome to Late Night Live number 109. Tonight we are diving into the wonderful, fanciful, shadyful world of Madarasz signatures. What's going on, Marilyn? How you doing this evening? I remembered to make myself tea today for the first time in weeks. It's still very hot though, so I will forget about it for a little while, but not too long. Haha, yes, tea is important. Get my spinning top going, for fun. Turn that on, even though we'll be going for more than an hour, so it doesn't really matter if the hourglass is going or not. But yes, we are going to recreate some Madarasz signatures today. I have printed here. These are probably not all of them, but these are the signatures just randomly scattered on a piece of paper that I'm going to be attempting. These are from a portion or a collection of his signatures in the Healy Archive, housed in the New York Public Library. I made them so small on this piece of paper though, so I'm likely going to be referencing my phone quite a bit. I will be looking at some images that I shared in the Creatrium on my Discord, in the OP chat thread. If you want to see the signatures that I'm working on and play along at home, then by all means dive into the Creatrium, into that channel, and you can see them. I'm going to warm up first though. The first signature we're going to do is this one. Whoop. Flip my screen. That one right there. Actually, we can flip the screen this way. We're gonna do this one. Which, I will admit, I've done some of these signatures before. I was working on this one yesterday, which is why we're gonna start with it, because I feel relatively okay about it. And then we'll sort of fumble and figure our way through the rest of them. What up, Skeet? Nice to see you. Okay, I need to get warmed up first, though. Just a few ovals. Shouldn't need that much to get warmed up this evening. Feeling relatively relaxed. Oh, I can get you guys maybe zoomed in a little bit closer here, actually. Maybe just a little bit. Not too close, because I want you to be able to still see my hand and whatnot. But we'll go there. Look. Okay. Hello, Deep Tea. Good morning to you. Welcome, welcome. These hairlines are magical right now. I'm using the same Hunt 101 that I used last week. Where can you find the names? So on the Discord, they are in the OP chat channel. If you just scroll up a little bit there, the last conversation that was being had was about some really, really thick shades, but right before that, you'll see a series of JPEGs that I uploaded there of Madarasz signatures. Doing signature work, so I guess I do have to be quite warmed up today. I'm going to be doing a whole lot of loopy-doos and whatnot. Wonderful hairlines. Good evening, Mom. Welcome, welcome. That's better. Loopy-doos can be very fun. Oh, congratulations, Marilyn. Did you just recently start a Patreon? Ooh, the hand is feeling pretty decent today. Hello, Benny. Welcome, welcome. Good evening to you, or good day to you. I can never remember what time it is for everybody. I apologize. I know many of you have told me many times what time it is for you during my streams, but I can't remember. Oh, that's good, Marilyn. Right on. Good idea. Morning for you. All right. Well, good morning to you then, Benny. All right. Are we warmed up enough yet? I don't know. Oh, I'm just realizing I never picked a challenge stroke for the Discord this week. Whoops. I will have to do that. Post one tomorrow morning. I have a feeling it's going to be a capital D. If you're in the Discord and you've been waiting for our weekly challenge, probably a capital D this week. To my own chagrin. Like so. But I have to work on them myself, so we gotta do them eventually. Hardest part tonight is going to be getting some Madarasz-isms in the signature. Trying to actually make them look like Madarasz's style and not just Madarasz designed signatures written by Mike Ward. I'm going to have to try to get them to look like he wrote them, which will be rather difficult for me, I think. Which means I'll be writing it more angled like so. Last week's challenge was the capital E. E is a challenge. I mean, for me, D is more of a challenge than the E. They're both challenging letters, though. But that's why we gotta practice them. can't always just do cool Fs. Even though they're more fun. You think the way they're done could be better? Or not just the way they're written, but the way... I'm not exactly sure what you mean. Stylistically? There's a few E's in tonight's signature practice that, like, for one, just off the top of memory, we have a few of these type of E's today. A few E's that go way long like that, which I quite like. They don't have this little extra loop, though. Some of the ones today have some interesting little transitions there. The problem with, I mean, I'm not against doing things on Zoom style, but it's less of how I'm sort of, how I like to spend these evenings. They are my practice time, and I will get a lot less practice done if I'm talking and there's other people and whatnot. I do streams like that on the Discord. We did one that lasted 4 hours a couple weeks ago, or I guess a little over a week ago. Are we warmed up? We dive into our first signature. Warmed up, I think so. Maybe we can dive into signature number 1. Well, it is most definitely faster than trying to type. And easier for me to answer questions. But so this is our signature we're trying first. We'll start it with the A here. This is struggle bit number 1, getting a nice big shade on that on the stem of the A. Come around to get a little weight on the end of the exit shade. Whoops, ink on my screen. Then we will do our downstroke here. Then we'll come around here, do the C into the R, and then finish the R, and then into the lowercase letters. And if we can get it exactly right, in a perfect world, I love that the exit stroke of the R, I'm not going to do my exit stroke like this. I don't really like this exit stroke, if I'm being 100% honest. Madarasz has this, he makes them round sometimes, but this is like it's a little wonky shaped. So I might try to make it more round than I normally do, but I want this to come over here a little bit more. I'm going to criticize Madarasz. What's he going to do about it? Nothing. But what I was getting at is if I can thread that E, if I can place the E so that the exit stroke of the R is threading the loop of the E, that'd be dope. I don't know if that was intentional. I'm assuming not, but it looks really cool. Hello, Jay. Welcome. How you doing this evening? I'm gonna set my phone just out of frame so I can see what I'm going for today. Alright, let's do it. So, starting with that large A, that's going to be struggle number 1. not large A, but large shade on the A. And not getting it too compound curvy. And a long exit oval afterwards. Kind of like that. This could definitely be higher. I would like this to be up here, but we'll roll with it. Shade's not quite big enough, but it's a start. Down here. Ooh, wavy line. Now the longer stroke. Get into the C, the stem of the R. Like so. Not far off, obviously. This should be parallel inside this line, so this little loop obviously is not in the right spot. One thing I am focusing on myself to break a habit is in the capital C, bringing my this loop before I transition up into the upper loop of the C. It's this portion from about here to here, dropping this lower. I tend to go up quite quickly, and I cut off what would be this space in there. So I need to go down and loop into that to give that space. That's one thing that I'm trying to be cautious of tonight, or in my practice in general. All right, let's see if we can get that A shade a little bit bigger. I gotta attack it. Funky oval. Ooh, weird. I let go strange there. A little bit too much gusto. Now we'll bring this down. Need to get that little oval right in the middle there. Better. Ideally, this is a little higher so it sits right below that little tick, but that's getting quite picky and specific. Hello, Olivia. Welcome, welcome. How you doing today? This part I'm happy with. I managed to keep that low, so there is some space in there, which is good. The low could be a bit longer, but that's being just picky. Ooh, ugly oval. Get the threading of the E there. And then if we're doing it exactly like Madarasz, we want to come through this and finish this shade right. Basically, I don't like that it's just touching there, so I'm going to put it just slightly off to the right. Not exactly like Madarasz did it. We're going to tweak it slightly, if we can. Kind of like that. This shade is a little bit shorter, but I have trouble with that one. So now question, who in the chat is trying these signatures along with me? I'm curious. Or if you're watching this video after it's live, let me know in the comments down below if you're diving in, or which one of the signatures we do tonight is your favorite or your least favorite. I'm curious, let me know. I know there's a lot of people that watch these videos after the live, because obviously it's really late at night for some people, but I never know who actually watches and who joins along, or who just listens to me as I ramble for hours on end. Fozzie! What up, Fozzie? You remembered, and without even a No Just Sweeney to remind you today. Wow, I'm impressed. I'm quite happy with that one, but we're gonna try a couple more times. Ah, you saw the story. Nice. Helpful Instagram. Ooh. That was very big. I gotta stop. I'm exiting. I'm used to getting that shape because when I do the capital Fs, I like getting that, a nice hook on it. But this one has much less of that, so I need to chill that out. Need to be just more like that. More discreet. What is this that's happening? So tonight, we're having a Madarasz signature night. On the Discord, I posted a series of, what is it? 24 signatures, I think 24 signatures by Madarasz from part of the Healy collection. 24 signatures, and we're just kind of going through them randomly, and I probably won't get to all of them, but I'm just seeing if I can replicate some of them. They are, again, like I said, on the Discord, in the OP chat thread. If you want to see what the heck I'm doing, or you want to join along, I posted them in there a while ago, like a month or so ago, and then I posted them again just earlier today in slightly higher resolution. At least they should be higher resolution. I appreciate that, Olivia. Sorry for making you get up in the middle of the night. So far, so good. Ish. Not perfect, but decent. Ooh. See, that's what happens when I try to put that shade later. I don't get a nice smooth arc, I get this kink in the middle, which is unfortunate. Not the biggest issue in the world, but... You don't like this A, Fozzie? What do some people call this one? The tent A? I'm gonna try to do a small one here. Whoa, not nearly. That has to be way over here. Okay. One more attempt at this one, and then we'll move on to another signature. It's growing on me, Fozzie, I gotta be honest. I hated it for a long time. I don't use it very often. I use it in my design work, but not usually my written work. Just because adding this shade, making this shade look good, is a bit of a challenge for me. Too far, maybe. My goal was to get it closer. I got it closer. Too close. Come closer. Too close. Anybody who can name that quote? Closer, closer. Too close. Somebody will know it. Somebody has to know it. Edna Mode? Nope. Does sound kind of like something Edna Mode would say. But that's not who I'm quoting. You're in the right realm, though. It is animated movies, but a little older than that. There we go. Aladdin! Well done, Jen. Well done. Oh, and Jose came in as well. Jose and Jen pretty much answered at the same time. Well done. Yes, most definitely Aladdin. Ah, yes. What is this? The famous Dead Sea Tupperware. Oh, still dead. What's this? Ooh, I don't remember. Also makes chili and fries. Will not break. Tang tang. It broke. Know that he improvised all that? Apparently, I don't know if this is true, so don't quote me on any of this. What up, Lori? Apparently, they put him in a room with all this random stuff, and I think he was blindfolded. So he was just feeling things. So he legitimately didn't know that he was getting Tupperware. He didn't know all the stuff that he was touching, like the lamp. Also makes chili and fries. Yeah, apparently he just was going for it, for all that stuff, just making stuff up. Funny man. But, well done, Jose and Jennifer. Or Jen. YouTube wants you to be Jennifer. That's very formal. Oh, I didn't open the lid on my ink jar. Not ink jar, water jar. Water is important when you're writing with white ink because it cakes on the end of your nib, and that's no good. The characteristics of Madarasz script. So what I'm doing today isn't Madarasz script. I'm doing Madarasz's signatures. Madarasz script, if you take like an Engrosso script or a copperplate, but so you apply the fundamentals of Engrosso script or copperplate to sort of Spencerian forms, but the shades are shaded shaded like Engrosso script or copperplate. Then you get what was sort of known as Madarasz script. So for example, if he were to do like a lowercase n instead of an ornamental penmanship, we'd have an n that looks like so. And in Engrosso script, this will be ugly, but we would have an n that looks something like this. That should be more round on the bottom there. And it's kind of like that. So when you fuse those two, the form of Spencerian or ornamental penmanship with the shades of Engrosso script or copperplate, you get something like this. Like so. So basically just a wider, more angular script. And then there's also, I'll say this just because I teach it, then there's also shaded Spencerian or sign writer script, which is often mistaken for Madarasz script. That's a similar thing. You take this ornamental penmanship form, like Madarasz script does, but you apply the principles, of ornamental penmanship, where the shades don't maintain the same thickness. So you get the same idea form-wise, but the shade has a taper to it the whole time. So they're almost similar, but they are slightly different. That is my sort of breakdown of what it is. But what we're doing today, not Madarasz script, today is signature writing in we're replicating Madarasz's signatures. So I've done that one. If anybody's following along and they want to, I won't do a poll or anything, but if anybody has any votes of which one of those signatures they want to do next, let me know. If not, I'm just going to scroll through here and I'm going to pick one. Didn't I teach shaded Spencerian in Manila, Fozzie? I don't remember anymore. I taught it somewhere during that trip. If not, I mean, I can teach it to you. I love shaded Spencerian. It is, in my opinion, the most beautiful looking script. It's gorgeous. So, move my paper out of the way here. We're gonna look at some other options. Oh, right, you guys did movement writing, which is also good. What up, Z? It's hilarious now, Z. I mean, this is always in front of me anyways, my die, but just because of how much you said you'd have it in your, like, ink jars and in just behind you and your paint palettes and whatnot, anytime I see you on a stream, I'm like, oh, the die! I gotta show Z the die! For whatever reason. Nice to see you. Glad you're here. Alright, so we got E.M. Havens, G.H. Campion. Campion. It's a unique name. Why is it not scrolling anymore? Oh, because I have to go to the next page. We have... Ooh, that one's kind of crazy. I'm glad to hear it, Z. That makes me happy. I'm going to try this one just because this W is wackadoo. I've never tried this one before. Obviously, this is drawn in later. That's not written like that right off the bat. Like I said, if you guys have ones that you want me to do, go ahead and post it in the chat. That's a Discord message. Do you shade that in one stroke? No, so I would do this. I'd probably do this as just like a heavy, like similar to one of those, like that Engrosser script N, or that Madarasz script N that I just did. I would do a shade and come down, and then you'd go and add this snazziness afterwards. I will go all the way around here, up, do that. Everything else from there. Now this one, this is one of the places where it sort of breaks one of the ornamental penmanship rules, but you can get away with it. You have a shade on the descender of the G, then you have a compound curve, and I always teach this in my signature design class, and just my unlocking the oval class, is that you shouldn't compound curve a line twice. But here you can see we have a compound curve, and then it compound curves again, but it's sort of hidden behind that shade, so kind of gets away with it, but it's something that I'm not a huge fan of when letters do that. Then we go into that little E. The E and the G are quite tiny. That shade's very small. And then just standard lowercase letters, Emerson. Alright, we're gonna try it. It's basically all about the W on this one. All about the W. Let's give it a shot. Lady and the Tramp in May. I don't even know what that is. Is it a show? I mean, I know the cartoon. Is it happening on Broadway? Or is it re-releasing in theaters? Or is there a new movie coming out? Or is it about Charlie Chaplin and a girl? Oh! I should have known that. Hilarious. Yeah, sorry. I am not attending. I'm pretty sure Kahlo is. Which is pretty wicked. In fact, I'm pretty sure Kahlo told me that you were attending, see? Which is cool. I will not be attending, unfortunately. I will be busy in May. Wow, that's hilarious. I had no idea what you were talking about. Okay, large horizontal oval into this W. Luckily, we can kind of stop after that. Gotta put the shade on this top left corner of that oval. Ooh, ugly, but we're gonna roll with it to see how the rest of it turns out. Ooh, I don't do my W's like this at all. This is weird. Okay. I'm gonna go slow just to walk myself through this one. Awesome. The domino effect of calligraphy class coercion. Okay, now here's that double compound curve we have over. Ooh, and this goes... Normally this would have like a loop on the end, but it doesn't have a loop. It goes like this. And then And straight into that M. Oh, bizarre. Oh, that's the wrong R as well. Okay, noted. Alright. So, you'll notice this oval has to be way bigger. I made it to the E. It's supposed to make it all the way past the N. So that opening oval has to be much, much bigger. Which is doable, I think. I might have to do that opening stroke and whole arm though, because it's so big. That's smoother. Did the wrong R again. Wow, and I still didn't even make it. Either I'm making my capitals way too small or way too big, or this entry oval has to be massive. I think I'm just making the whole thing too big. I'll make it smaller. Gotta smooth out that G into the E as well. Okay, big. To be the same size as the CA Romer signature total. Very large oval. Get rid of this for a sec. That's what I wanted here. I think I'm also going way too far that way, but keep this going. Wrong R again, damn it. And still, I'm making it through the E. I'm not very good at doing this one small enough. Oh, sorry, camera is not on. Yep, I switched it to autofocus when I was looking at the phone. Sorry. Thank you for letting me know, Jose. Appreciate that. Okay, stop doing the same thing over and over again. Snap out of it. Oh, the spinning top stopped. We've only been going for 40 minutes. It wasn't fully charged, that's my fault. Weird. Didn't last very long. It's probably not only gonna last a minute or two if I leave it now. I forgot to charge it, but I decided to spin it anyways. Oops. Okay. I gotta do this right. Didn't add a shade there, but that's okay. I'm focused more about getting the shape right this time. How small do I have to make these? Oh, this has to stay inside the little oval. Gotta be super tiny like that. Alright, we're learning. Oh, spinning top ended again. Or stopped again. Its battery is dead. I mean, alternatively, I could always do the WG Emerson and then do that big oval afterwards. Then I know how big I want to make it. But I feel like I shouldn't have to do that. I should just be able to do it right the first time. All at once. Oh, paper moved. Boo. That's better, except for my paper moved on this G. We could smooth that out and pretend I did a really big, nice shade. And then this W would get the Madarasz treatment. Something like that. But I think we can do better than that. It's a process. Tea. Don't forget to drink your tea. If you have tea at home, don't forget to drink it. What do you mean an accident waiting to happen, Fozzie? You're just drawing in a shade. What could go wrong? Okay, add a lot more space on the bottom. Okay, can't let my paper move this time. Too much tension in my hand. Ooh. This W. I need to practice this W just on its own. Because it's not... I'm not writing it the way Madarasz would have, that's for certain. My movement is not very confident, and you can see it. But we'll put this really big accent shade on. Like so. Yeah, that W needs a lot of work. I'm gonna move on from that one though. I could practice that W on its own for a little bit. That's like the two humps of the M. Similar thing. Two humps of the M are very challenging for me. Like doing... turn my page this way before I turn it over, or before I start a new sheet. Like getting those two. This is just the opposite of those two. These two lower loops feel very foreign because they're not in letters that I use really. Especially with that shade in them. Gotta be done quickly. Kind of more like that. Undercurve at the second one would be good. Like that. I guess you could stop as well. I could do it in two. Gotta not come back up so high. Like that. Then like that. Then I can just add that bead. And go into the G from there. That would make sense. And then this could have the shade added to it. That other one's in the way, but something like that. That's better. Those loops, much better. Maybe I'll try that again on another sheet of paper, because that's much better. No, it's not a super common variation of the capital W. Let's try that W one more time. I just gotta really commit to those 2 loops and do them one at a time, I think. Like that. And like that. Wrong R. That's the idea. Those lowercase are better than any of the previous attempts. And then we just fill in the lines. Something like that. Booyah. There we go. That's better. I'm glad we at least did. Doesn't have the big super dope oval around it, but those lowercase, or at least, or those capitals and lowercase, are a little bit more passable than the previous ones. Let's try another one. Any suggestions or signatures that you guys specifically want me to do? What else we got here? Ooh, this one. Wait, that's a big. I'm gonna try this one. I will remember to put the camera back on autofocus or back on manual focus after this. But compound curve up into the J, big old shade. Compound curve into the H. We can stop there if we want. Shade the H. Now here, this is where it's interesting. I've always read that the majority of ornamental penmen would make this stroke from the baseline up. In business penmanship, you would make this stroke from the top down. According to this, it looks like Madarasz did it from the top down. Or did it from the bottom up and then put this shade in there afterwards. I can tell you already that I'm gonna have a tough time controlling that taper and this stroke. I am not very good at doing it from the top down, but I will give it a shot today. Then we go from there, hairline into the C, C and directly into the O. You can see here the shade is already starting. At least he might have ended the O, but go from the C directly into the O, and then O-M-E-R. Big old bead on the end of the R, down, no loop, and a huge exit. Underline. We will tackle that one. Get this focus, lock, so we'll focus on my hand. Alright, so the big things we have to practice for this one. My paper in the corner. R. That big old shade on the J. And one thing to note, if you're trying to do signatures like this or writing that have really big shades, you're gonna want to bring your nib out of the ink a little bit quicker. If I can demonstrate this, the quicker you come out of the ink, the more ink you're gonna have on the bottom of your nib. Whereas if I leave the ink slowly, so if I'm doing lowercase or something, I would leave the ink slowly. So you can see there's a lot less ink, at least I hope you can see. There's a lot less ink on the bottom of that nib, versus if I left quickly, then I have a nice pool, so I'm not gonna run out of ink if I have a really massive shade. So when you're doing really big shaded stuff, dip quicker, When you're doing more finessey, light hairline stuff, you dip slower. That's sort of my technique anyways. You can kind of gauge your dipping speed depending on what you're writing. You can also pick a speed somewhere in the middle, depending on how much ink you need. So we have our compound curve. We'll just sort of draw our way through this one first. Oops. Compound curve up into this massive J. Oh, so this compound curve needs to go through there, so it's through the ascender. Ooh. Okay. This comes up into the H, which is as tall as the J. Comes down right in between these two. Now we have this downstroke. Oh, goodness. That's going to be a tough one for me to make look good today. And from there, go up and around, going through both of these into our C. Okay. Like so, and that has to go straight into the O. Big old bead on the O, or sorry, on the R. And then this massive exit stroke. So we're gonna dip again or exit shade. No loop on the bottom there. Finish about there. Ha! I need it bigger sooner. That's the exit I need on that first signature that we did. Okay. Now we'll try to do it without all the talking. Or without all the analysis. Just try to make it happen. That J. Shape of that entry stroke is very foreign to me. So far, so good. Now we ruin it all with this second stroke of the H. Yeah, I gotta go quick. Quick. Not too curved on the top. Could be worse. Ugly exit stroke. Too long a shade on the C. I might have to do that C and stop and then go into the O. Maybe. That's better, and then it just needs the hook down at the end, and we'll be good. Cool. The chat is very quiet tonight. Everybody's still hanging in there? Is it because you're all writing? Or is there nobody here? Maybe there's nobody here today. That's okay. If nobody's here, I will go into self-entertain mode. When the chat goes this quiet, it makes me worried that something is wrong. That the stream is not working. I can't tell you how much that stroke stresses me out. Oh, there, Jace here. Makes sense. It's a late night. Thanks, Mom, keeping me informed on the family WhatsApp chat. I saw it come in. I haven't looked at the photo, but I saw the thumbnail of what it looks like it is. I will see it later. Alright, I'm gonna try this one more time. Really just for that H, because the rest of this one, aside from what I talked about on the first signature, ideally I'd love to keep this a little bit lower going into that C, so we have a little bit more space here, but not mad at it. Madarasz has a slightly shorter exit oval here, which is fine. I'm also not mad at that one. J happy with, those are all intersecting the same spot, which isn't exactly what we want, but I gotta remember to drop this a little lower. But all in all, not mad at it. It could be a heck of a lot worse. Share the photo? No, I don't know what it is. It might be sensitive content. What up, Lurker James? Was that dang saying, dang, you messed up, or dang, good job, Mike, that signature looks awesome. Alright, we're gonna try that one more time. See if we can iron out some of those little slight issues we did. Starting this first entry stroke it's very weird doing a compound curve starting where this one starts for me and making it so big. I didn't really do anything different with that one. Alright, big old shade in the J. Oh, crap. I'll try that again because I had some nib snappery going on. I think I got a little bit too close to myself. I gotta write farther away. Is this gonna give me space for the whole signature? Not sure. Let's start it again. Well, we can do a little mini one. A mini version. This damn stroke. Could be worse. That H. So I know I gotta practice that H. So far the W in signature number 2 and the H in signature number 3 are my main practice points. What question, James? I'm curious. Is he looking for the difference between... What questions were even asked in chat? Madarasz script question? Maybe that was what he asked. Or what he's looking for the answer to. Alright, what signature are we doing next? Let me go to the next page here. Ooh, this one's neat. Here, get it bigger for you guys. Paper and ink out of the way. That one. So, let me clean my nib. Yeah, this one's kind of snazzy. That S, which I'm very not familiar with writing. Okay. What is this? SS Packard? That's what it looks like. Weird S, long S. Is that SS Packard? I think so. Yeah, I think so, Fozzie. I mean, don't quote me on that, but I feel like it is. It could potentially... No, it's not SJ. It's gotta be SS. Alright, so we're not going to worry about these beads. I'm going to put those in... Well, this bead is just a filled-in loop. But I'm just going to start here. Well... Yeah, we're going to start here. Simple. Across, loop over. That's simple. Then we lift, come back to here, that starting point. He might have put that bead in there to hide that he didn't match up the starting points very well. Come down here, little loop into the long S, compound curve into the stem. Then from there, lift, come up here, under curve. Again, this is a little loop, but it might have just been a stop, and he might have added the loop and filled it in afterwards. Get a shade there, and then I love this unlooped K lately. I've been using that as well. K-A-R-D, simple, exit. Now, if it was SF, it would have to go, this loop would have to come around this way instead of going over to the left. Or wouldn't have to, but I would assume that's how it would go. Alright, SS Packard. First off, let's practice that S. Well, no, first off, lock your camera focus. Second off, let's practice that S. That we don't use very often. Oh, no extra curve there. Stop there. And don't forget to add a shade. Okay. Can do. I do something like so. Fill this in. Oops. It's not a very good stem there. We'll try to fix that later. But we'll get this thing worked out first. Then we come back through here. Loop up to that top bit. To the stem. Okay. Slight accent curve on that little loop if we remember. Okay. It's not perfect, but it's a start. It's tentative, so this wasn't as round or as big and awesome as it could be. If it was bigger, it would come over there and loop where it was supposed to. Yeah. Okay. Something of note to remember. Something like so. SF Packard. And then he added a little bead right there. This loop was bigger. Could be worse. Could be much worse. Not mad at that. Okay, make this opening line a little bit straighter. Fail. Try that S one more time. Making that stem look Madarasz-y is hard, because it's not evenly shaded on this oval. It's an asymmetric stem shade, which is weird for me. See, I just get an even shade. I need this to be asymmetrical like that. How do you do that? Good night, Mom. Thanks for coming. Alright, Madarasz. How do you do this stem shaded oval? That's still just evenly shaded. Don't know how he does that. Oh, yeah, don't know how he does that. Slight little snap in there. Too long on my descender of the long S, but oh, wrong D. Whoopsies. That's way too long, but oh well. So I need this to come up higher. Still fuller to come across more horizontal, so this can come lower so that these don't all. I'm quite good at making those all match up, which is nice, but not when it's not on purpose. It's a challenging one. Writing too close to myself. My nib's getting too vertical by the time it gets to this descender, so it doesn't end up being written smoothly. Sounds good, Marilyn. Have a good night. Sleep well. Whoops. Oh, that whole one's just a fail. That didn't work. Didn't work. Forgot what I was doing. Why is this S so hard for me? Maybe I have to think of exiting like that way to get that cut off? Feels so weird. I mean, that's doesn't do exactly what it is asymmetrical, but probably the best one yet, even though it's sort of a throwaway tiny one. Yeah, I don't every time I do that lower loop, I just get like a shade I would get on a Q or a Z. It's very strange putting a stem shade on a indirect oval like that. Madarasz was weird. Out of space. Ooh, I made this loop on the top of the P way too big. But another passable attempt. What question did you have to scroll up to get answered, James? Out of curiosity. Alright, I'm gonna move on. That was a fun one. I gotta work on that S. I could spend a while working on that S. That shade. The S itself, I don't feel like any time I've seen that S a lot, and it doesn't usually have a stem shade on a reversed oval. Need to get that shape. It's got to have like a every time I do it, it's just an even shaded reversed oval shade. Weird. Ah, got you. Yeah, just Madarasz himself characteristics, I wouldn't be the best at pointing out those. I could put out some, but anyways, let's go to another signature. I'll maybe dedicate some time to that S on another day. Maybe? Not a super huge fan of having that stem shade that way. But that does make sense why Madarasz's standard S looks the way it does. If he's doing that lower shade that continues this way, then it makes sense how he gets, I don't know, it's weird to me. Let's see what else we got here. Signatures. And again, if you guys have any suggestions, ooh, let's do this one. 2 C's. Let me know. The signatures I'm working on today, again, they're in the Discord, in the OP chat channel, but I think I'm gonna do this one. CTC. Relatively simple, but a neat, a variation of the T that I have never done. CTC. Relatively easy to understand though. Nice horizontal oval with an accent shade. I'll be focusing to put that in there. Open C. Come around. Very tight undercurve into the stem of the T. Now I'm curious if he did this fast or if he did this released and then came here and went fast into the C again. What do you think? Well, that's, I mean, you say you can't do it, James, but I don't know if he did it at speed either. He might have just done this as like an engrosser's, because I mean, that's the cut that he has at the bottom here. Is much more engrosser's-esque. I wonder if he came down and like stopped and then went and then cleaned it up later. I mean, it's really hard to tell if it's cleaned up later from this. It's not high quality enough of a digitization. This compound curve is beautiful though, starting down here and going up and over. It's very nice. Yes. I am with you though, James. I'm pretty certain I can't make that T stem shade either. But I'm gonna try. Cause why not? What do I got to lose? Nothing. Like if he did something like that. Oh, sorry. Camera focus. Locked. And then went from there into the next C. Whoa, no U after the Q? Oh, is that a G then? Interesting. And then this beautiful compound curve. Mine's a little more curvy on the end than his. Then I'm wondering, yeah, I got these a little too close. I mean, I did better than I thought I was gonna do, but then could he have rounded out that transition? Not gonna lie, I was expecting it to come out much worse than that. I'm not too mad at that, actually. My baseline is a little bit wonky, but let's try that again and see if we can't get... Maybe I'll try just the T a few times. It's getting that engrossers-esque ending to the T shade is interesting. So I'm lifting, but then my momentum going this way is bringing this back in instead of letting it cut off. That's because of my speed. So either I have to lift off the page quicker or actually stop my movement. If I stop my movement, this is going to get jaggy though. Oh. Ooh, that's what we want. That's pretty much exactly the idea. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. And notice, for those of you who've been listening to me for a while, I was running out of ink. Gray Shade Society. That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you, it's a thing. The shades are always better when the ink is gray. Always. Gray Shade Society. But then from here, this would come around and be rounded into that. Yeah. Well, it's possible. Whether he did it like that or not, I don't know. there's always the possibility that he did the entire thing in one stroke. I kind of doubt it. But that's possible that he went from... That's actually not as hard as that doesn't feel nearly as weird as I thought it was gonna. And that's how you get a nice smooth transition down there. Maybe that's how he did it. Straight in one stroke with not a lot of speed, but just movement to keep it smooth-ish. For sure that's okay. After doing it a couple times, I know I'm perfect, but yeah, that's not nearly as hard or as weird as I was making it out to be. Mine are much more pointy than his, but we can work on that. I am not Madarasz, so there's also that. He was famous for a reason. I freaked out because it was the real thing and not just a practice stroke. That's why I always talk about the battle up here. We freak out and make it harder than it has to be. Okay, that's a better C than the last time. Don't freak out now. Where's this other C? Just as high to there. Okay. Here, and a dot right here, and a dot right here. I'm quite happy with that. My shade is not quite as flat on the right side or bulbous. It's not the same. I did that more like a Spencerian shade than like he did it, but I'll be honest, that's better looking than I thought I was going to be able to do that T, so we're going to leave that one there and move right along. Which one next? Do you have any requests, James? I could do that one with the W in it that you love so much. And by love so much, I mean, I know you hate it. I don't know if I actually even want to. W's like that are really weird. Alright, let me go to another page here. It's so gross. Let's do... here, this one. This is one I forgot about. This is Lyman P. Spencer. Focus. L.P. Spencer. The best, in my opinion, of the Spencer brothers. The best penman. This one's cool. That S is weird, though. And it works, but the strange thing is when you do, like, I wonder if when he did this, if that's how he meant that S to look, or I could totally understand if he was doing this and realized sort of the space he had and where he wanted the cross to be and where this, like, how much space he had up here. If this weird S is just a product of him filling the space that he wanted to fill, I could totally see that. But pretty basic. Start with a very long, straight compound curve, slight compound curve. I'm assuming he just stopped here and then started the next stroke instead of having like a vertical little loop. I don't imagine he did the little vertical loop. Yeah, they're big shades. This one, I mean, the L shade, P shade. For me, the weirdest thing about Madarasz's shades versus my own is I definitely tend to have more curve on the left tine, so they take up a little bit more space on the left side, and he, at least in this sample, he doesn't always, like in his L he continues going, but they end quite abruptly at the bottom, similar to like some of Blozer's old work is like that. I know even in Lessons in Ornamental Penmanship by C.P. Zahner, Lupfer's examples in that one have quite short cut-off stems that I'm not a huge fan of, but that's just personal preference. But straight line, compound curve, big all the way over, shade to come down, leaving enough space in here that we can fit the S and the P. This just follows parallel to a stem. Loop here. Now this one, because we need this to cut right in the middle so that we can come up for this S, ideally cross at this point, but I'm not going to be too worried about that, to be honest. Up here, we keep this above the line to shade. Now this shade will be easier than the last weird S that we did, because this shade, unlike this one here, is more of a symmetrical. We have an indirect oval, and we have a symmetrical shade on that indirect oval. So that'll be easier for me. Come over here. This is the tricky bit, keeping these sort of evenly spaced where we place this to get a nice little tick on the end there, and then going up into a large P with a stem shade, or with a shade on it, large P, and then answer, and then a very bulbous low loop on the R. It's not going to be a super easy one, but yeah, let's give this one a shot. Let's give this one a shot. Over here, get a new sheet of paper. Today I'm using, what paper am I using today? This is John Neal Books. What do they call it? Ultra black paper, something like that. It is a lot thicker than the paper I normally use, but the surface is very, very smooth, and I find that I get really nice hairlines with it, and I quite like it. Hello, Annie. No need to apologize. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. But yeah, if you get this paper, I really like it. They have a dotted, lined version of the paper as well. I don't recommend that one. This is actually the dotted paper. I don't know if the camera will be able to pick it up. There are dots, but the ink doesn't stick over the dots. So if you have like a hairline or any line that goes over the dots, the ink or the dots sort of repel the ink. So I use the back side of it, or they sell it unlined as well. It's cheaper unlined. I think it's only 10 or 11 bucks, maybe 12 bucks for 50 sheets, which isn't too bad. What am I doing today? I am replicating Madarasz's signatures. Get the camera focus here. The signatures are posted in the Discord if you want to see sort of the pool of signatures that I'm choosing from today. Right now we're doing this one of Lyman P. Spencer, written by Madarasz, is our current challenge. Oh, you know what I haven't done in a while, actually? Sup, Lurker Leon. Haven't said hi to you in a while. Hope you won't hold that against me. If you're here, hope you're awesome. If you're not here, well, see ya, or won't see you the next time. Alright, here we go. Let's map our way through this one. We get this long straight line. This first stroke, relatively not super hard. Like so should work. Not a very good stem there, but we'll work on that. Then we have our P compound curve. Ooh, I didn't leave myself very much space for that S up here. Whoops. Get our P. Oh, see, this has to go up high enough that it cuts in the right spot so I can fit back through later. I need to walk this once. So weird. And this is such like a long exit oval for that S. It's a very bizarre feeling to write. Like, that doesn't look horrible, but oof, feels very strange. Then we get our P. Should be a little more stemish. And slight shade on this bit. Madarasz loved his ending R's with really big beads on them. Accent shade on the bottom of this little bowl. Madarasz is so gifted. I think Madarasz worked really hard and had really good teachers, I would guess. But he was very good. He's not my favorite penman though, but he was very good. Alright, who's my favorite? It changes. Sometimes E.W. Blozer. My favorite to copy, even though some people consider it kind of boring, is Lupfer. E.A. Lupfer or Lupfer, because his writing was just like perfect, or his examples are very textbook, which I like. Madarasz has more character. I like the creativeness of H.P. Bairnsmeyer. And lately, my favorite lately has been H.B. Lemon or Lehman, Lehman. His work is so cool. I mean, F.B. Courtney is incredible. He's never really been he's among the best ones. He's really, really, really good. I don't know that they're all my favorites, technically, all those guys, but I don't know, nothing about Courtney's work ever really drew me in that much. That's nothing against him. I prefer Courtney's work to Madarasz's work, if I had to choose one or the other. Unpopular opinion, maybe. I now lose a bunch of followers and everybody leaves the chat and whatnot. Courtney was very creative. As far as people that, like, aside from penmanship that I would want to know, Courtney would be among the ones that I would want to know personally the most. Just because he was creative, but different than the kind of creativity that I like about, say, Bairnsmeyer. It's a different kind of creativity. Bairnsmeyer, I like his creativity and where he used flourishes and things like that. Courtney's stuff was just super creative. He was just so much more of an artist than I think a lot of them. Yes, I agree with that, James. Blozer's tall ascenders and elegant. Yeah, he was just really good. Super clean. I could say something about each one of the old guys that would make them be my favorite, but let's go. A little more space here this time. Whoa! That's not... Darn it! That was a decent one as well. I wasn't supposed to do that. Let's continue on, though, just for the sake of practice. That needs to be longer. Whoa. This has to go... Oh, gosh. This is so weird. Has to go way to the right and then down to the left. It goes so much, like, it feels like I'm leaving so much space here, but there is that much space there. So I'm really not, I guess. That's a better P than last time. Thanks, Skeet. I appreciate that. A.D. Taylor's amazing. I don't think, again, he's not one that I would peg as a favorite, but like A.D. Taylor and... Oh, gosh. Help me out. You guys know then. It's the more old school. There's not a lot of his samples out there. Really large. Most of his work looks like it's done whole arm. Big but super controlled, beautiful capitals. Come on, brain. Who am I thinking of? Now, because I'm trying to think about it, I'm never going to think about it. A.D. Taylor's who we said here. But A.D. Taylor, I feel like, is in a similar camp as him in my brain of who they are and why I like them. No, not Zayner. Oh, come on, brain. I can't remember. It'll pop in my head eventually. It'll say hello. Okay, we gotta smooth out. No, we already said Berensmeyer. He's my creative, one of my creative favorites. So I'm coming down at way sharper of an angle than Madarasz. I gotta chill that out. Oh, I mean, Kanan's work is amazing. He's not among the ones that, one of the ones that I'm thinking of right now. Gosh. My brain's not working. Maybe it is A.D. Taylor. No, there's another one that's in the same sort of camp as Taylor. I too close to myself, I think, in here. So this shade doesn't end the way I want it to. That's okay for now. Forgot to add the little weight on the end there. But that can be added later, I suppose. Too far away from the S, but that's okay. Not too bad. Could be worse. L needs to get, that shade needs to have way more asymmetry to it. Okay, I can do that. AM1L? No, that's a good one though. Okay, I need to go into a folder on my computer to find it now because it's driving me crazy. Give me 2 seconds. I need to find the name of this penman. Let's go into my computer. Penmanship folder. Let's go into, where's the best place to look? Business Educator Snippets. It'll be in there. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? I know what your samples look like. S.O. Smith is another one that's an easy favorite. Come on, where are you? Darner! H.L. Darner. So I feel like Darner is kind of in the same world as Taylor in what I like and why I like their work. But Darner's, yeah, Darner. There, found it. H.L. Darner. There's not a ton of it out there. I don't think. Oh, nice, Fozzie. Is she just on the first one now? I am very happy to hear that. Okay, now we got the gist of it. We did all these things with movement. We gotta smooth out this P a little bit. But we got the S crossing in the right spot, taking up all this weird amount of space. I can give myself more space up here, I think, a little bit. I mean, the world can always use another Potterhead, in my opinion. Awesome. I hope she likes it. Okay, I'm gonna learn my lesson. Put this a little bit farther away from me. See if I can get this L looking a bit nicer. Give myself more space up here. Ooh, I'm making this very big. I'm at the max of my movement in my forearm before I run out. Could be worse. Just gonna start again. We gave up partway through that one, it looks like. Oh, woohoo! Yay! I'm glad. If she ever wants to talk Harry Potter or has Harry Potter questions, she knows who to talk to. Ugh, that shade is so ugly for me. I keep meaning to give myself more space up here, and I'm not. So I'm cutting it off too soon. I feel like I've been giving myself less and less space, which is no good. Ooh, that's the smoothest that P and S has been, though. Out of fiber or hair. Messed up the P. And I'm pretty sure it's still there, but I'm gonna keep going anyways. Oh, I did the wrong R. Oh well. Ian's into manga. That's fun too. Alright, that was a cool one. We gave that a bunch of good swings. I can definitely perfect that one more, but that one's fun. Maybe I'm gonna try one more time, and I'll move on to another one. One more try to see if I can give myself a little bit more space up top. No good. Why is that happening? I can do a better shade than that. I'm just writing too big, I think. Last attempt on this one. Double check that nib snap didn't mess things up. Should be good. Okay. Last try. Then we'll move on to a different one. Try to do it smaller. Chill out the size a little bit. Lost my hairline. Didn't come down low enough. Shoot. Alright. I waved my flag. I'm moving on. Let's do... Ooh, what about this weirdo one? E.M. Huntsinger. So we got this intense E that goes up and over the entire thing. Straight line, same as the one we just did. We go up and over, slight accent shade. Long shade here that goes slightly below the baseline, just slightly, to compound curve up into this M. That's weird. And then we have our M to an H, standard. This weird stroke, which again I think Madarasz does it from the top down, it looks like, because there's an accent shade on it. That's going to be hard for me. Then we come up here, and I'm assuming this just goes up and stops, and then he does this stroke. It doesn't actually go up and in, goes and stops, lifts to get his U. Huntsinger. Shaded basically every downstroke of the lowercase letters. get the Q variation of the G and finish in this 2 shades at the end. This is gonna be interesting, getting this little loop on this angle, I'm pretty sure, because I know my hand is gonna want to do this and go basically into a vertical little loop right here, and then up and over into that one instead of going back over to the left or to the right. You are correct, Fozzie. It is a long ass entry. You are right. That E has to be longer than the entire thing. We'll see how it goes. Alright, let's map it out first. Super long E, same as the L we were doing a moment ago. Now I want the shade to be right here, on the left side of where my entry started. And this goes over the entry and then down. Okay. A lot of little variables to think about here. Ugly shade there. H is too wide. Whoops. I put the S before the T. Hunt Stinger instead of Hunt Singer. Well, he's Hunt Stinger now today. Hunt Stinger. I gave myself too much space. Now this exit. The shade is right under the H. Thinking consciously about making this oval. Go back to the right. This would have a bead. And then we'll put the dot there and there. Okay. We have a place to start. Okay, let's smooth out that little transition at the beginning, shall we? Into the E, or into the M, I mean. Probably slow that down a little bit, maybe. Well, hello, Dr. Joe. How are you doing this evening? Exit stroke, and then we will tired. I mean, that's, I imagine you've had quite the week, I'm guessing. Hopefully everything's been going well over there. Tired but can't sleep, or tired but don't want to sleep because you'd rather be hanging out with cool pen folk? Remind me, you're coming to Scranton, right, Dr. Joe? Sweet. Okay, that's not too shabby. Biggest issue, just in case you don't know what we're up to today, Joe, I am replicating some of the Madarasz signatures, or I'm trying to replicate some of the Madarasz signatures from the New York collection of the Healy collection, the New York side. So this is the one I'm working on right now. Rather unusual capital E and connection there. But yeah, we're just replicating some Madarasz signatures today, or trying to replicate some. And I don't honestly know how much longer I'm going to be going. Maybe this signature and then one more, perhaps. I got an early morning tomorrow. I have my Spencerian class with Mont Blanc tomorrow morning, so I got to make sure I got lots of energy and know what I'm doing for that one. Okay, we gotta make the ending of this E slightly more rounded. Going a little bit too fast, finishing that off, I think. That's better. He did every one of these lowercase shaded, every downstroke, which is unusual at this size. And we'll get this exit stroke figured out. Dots in here. Add the little, I'm going to turn my paper to add the bead on this E. And I think we have a relatively passable rendition. Not perfect, obviously, but I'm not Madarasz, and I've never written this signature before. Alright, I think I'm going to do one more, and then we'll call it a night. I know it's early. For most late night lives, we haven't had a late night live that went into the black light yet in 2023. Maybe that'll be next week. But I should be responsible and go to bed early, make sure my T's are crossed and my I's are dotted. I love in this signature that he crossed his T. The entry stroke is what crosses the T, which is awesome. Very clever. I do think this entry is rather weird. I need to get in the habit of making it a little more round before doing a more abrupt compound curve up and over, but splitting hairs. Alright, which one's next? Let's find our last signature for the night, or maybe our last signature. Ooh, maybe this one. Yeah, this one. Oh, you are absolutely right, Skeet. Oh man, Fun Sinner. Oh, and the G is such a cool G when it's the Q variation. I was just sort of on autopilot. Good catch, good eye. Way to call me out on that. I'm not gonna do another one with a G in it. We're gonna pretend that that's okay. That his name is different. Ain't that just the way? As soon as I do something that I feel like is good enough, of course, I spelt it wrong. That's par for the course. I'll call that my personal brand. Where's the edge of my paper? There it is. No, where's the edge? There we go. Okay, we are gonna do next this one. Oh, nope. Where? Nope. This one. S.C. Kinney. crazy long S, similar entry to the L we were doing a moment ago, and the E as well, with the long horizontal entry. The big question that I have, good night, Joe, sweet dreams, we'll talk to you soon. Over here, up and over, compound curve down, pretty easy design-wise, easy to get into, compound curve of the K. Now, I don't know if I should lift here or keep going into the eye. Shaded eye, which is weird. If I want to just cut that off and then go into the eye, I wish I could tell what he did. I wonder if he lifted there. A lot of these ones have long entries in this collection. This is the last, is this the last page? Yes. In this collection, just 6 pages. I mean, I have them broken down into 6. What these were, in the Healy collection, they must have been for a trade show or something like that. They had a bunch of big poster boards, like quite large poster boards that had all these samples on them. And there were these, this collection of Madarasz's signatures were on the first board. And there were boards to show like business writing, boards to show how, like one of Mills's business penmanship courses, but shown to see how he prepares the specimens for printing, basically. And then there were a lot of flourishes by all the major penmen back in the day, basically. So it must have been some form of trade show, advertisement, or educational thing that the Penman's Art Journal did back in the day. I'm not exactly sure what it was for, and I don't know that I'll figure it out, because I don't think it's something they would have advertised, just something they had for demonstration purposes. Alright, here we go. Let me get back to that one so I can see it big. We'll do this long entry into S.C. Kinney. S.C. Kinney. Let's do it. Now, is the S easier than the J? Or than the L coming from the long entry stroke? Gotta make sure my elbow's set up that it can reach all the way down here. Easy enough. The C crosses below. The K just goes over the line. Good to go, I think. Kind of lost my hairline there a couple spots, but the movement was pretty smooth. This didn't go nearly my exit stroke on my C. It's rather short, which is normally what happens when I get self-conscious about where I'm going in a design. Now this is a really weird shade on the end here, because it starts at a hairline and then rapidly gets thick and then goes down like so. It would cut through the C if I made the C exit oval the size that it's supposed to be. But starting it at a shade... Oh, is it? Sorry. Lock focus. Sorry. I keep forgetting to do that. There we go. Not blurry anymore. My bad. It's okay, this isn't one of the good attempts anyways. Whoa, that's a very big shade. But see, this is how when I do big shades, this is the shape they take. His is thick in the middle and finishes on a hairline, which I've always had trouble with. No, it's not just you, Fuzzy. I definitely had my camera still on autofocus, so it was focusing on my hand. That is very big, though. How big is that? It's not as big as the shade that we were discussing earlier today on the Discord. We were talking about a 5mm shade. That's the biggest I've ever seen in a piece. How big is this one? It's not 5mm. It's only 3. It looks huge, but it's only 3mm. That's a nib breaker, that one, to go that big all the time. You'd wear out a nib pretty quick. Okay. Yeah, I need to figure out how to get the shade in the middle and then taper to a hairline and not... I usually use the closing of the tines as my taper, but I need to taper and then continue as a hairline, which I've always had issues with. Blozer's famous at the end of his LOSER, he would have like... He has his long shade that finishes the same way. It finishes it, it has to finish in full hairline and then go like down. And it's so hard for me to get that shade going horizontal and then cut off to go down. Blozer used that one all the time. And he's one of the only ones that I feel like used it that much. And sometimes I'm pretty sure he thickened this shade afterwards, but it is totally possible to do it on the fly as well. Yeah, I don't taper fast enough. I need to try Kinney one more time on this piece of paper, and then we'll start another sheet. Why are my hairlines disappearing? Is this part of the page oily or something? I think the paper's oily from my arm. A little bit. Okay, can I get this shade looking the way I want? I need to get into a shade at like this point, like right away into the shade, and then finish in a hairline. I have to go so slow. Okay, new sheet of paper and we'll try again. Give it a few more swings. And we'll call it a night. It's a fun play night for me. I haven't worked on signatures in a while. And I'm quite happy with some of the ones. I'm really digging this paper. I wish it wasn't as thick as it is, but it is nice and smooth, which is required for this type of work. And it makes the hairlines look nice. And there are no lines, which I also like. Okay. Let's see if we can get this better. Goodness, I totally forgot what letter I was making when I got to the C. That was horrible. I got to finish the S shade and I went, ooh, that was a nice shade. And well thinking that, totally lost where I was. This is why I always say you can't think Everything happens too fast to think. Yeah, it's definitely there. You get to a point you're like, I'm lost. It just all happens in a fraction of a couple seconds. Or in the matter of a couple seconds. If this video was in slow motion, you could slow it down and see the moment where I go, where am I? Okay, let's try that again. With ideally not the hesitation. SCK. Long exit on the C, tall C. Okay, because ideally also, one thing I never really mentioned, I also want to make sure I can get this C to follow parallel to the top of the S, like the P in Lyman P. Spencer's signature was. If we can get that, it would be dope. But it's a big if. See, I'm taking up way too much space. This K needs to be like right here. Yeah, and I'm nib snapping down here, which is no good. Which means I might be writing too close to myself again by the time I come down into that S. Yeah. That's better. Oh, come on. Don't do that to me. It's my own fault for not looking at my nib and noticing that I was out of ink, though. We'll fix that later. I also shaded way more of the lowercase letters than he did. Fix this. That's why, if you ever see the breather hole on your nib not filled with black or white or whatever color ink you're using, dip. Unless you're doing all non-shaded stuff after that, but even still, just dip, because you're gonna get a railroad at some point. You're playing with fire. Okay, I like that signature so far though. Can we get this shade looking good? Path, where's the path? We're going from here down to there. There, and curving straight down. Oh, that's frustrating, because that's such an ugly shade. I would rather just my regular shape shade than that. But if I go slow, it's not gonna be smooth. I need it to be like... kind of like that. Ooh, that's the cutoff I need, but I need more shade than that. Oh, that's frustrating, because I really like the rest of that signature. Kind of like that, but smoother exit. Oh, frustrating. No, see, that's how I want to do it, but that's not how Madarasz does it. Can't do the Madarasz exit shade. Come on. The rest of that signature was so good. It's better. How does... like, I need to be hairline by the time I get there. Try one more time, because I buggered up the ending of that one. I can't do... I feel like I'm just gonna have to do I'll do just like one of my own shades to make it look good. Because I don't feel like I can make his exit stroke look good. Not without at least a practice session to work on it. Such a weird shape. Oh, nope. I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna do another one with my own exit shade at the end. Forget it. I don't trust myself to make that one look good after doing a good signature. K's a little too big. That's all right. The J into the C worked pretty, or the S into the C worked pretty good on that one. We don't have quite the parallel follow, but that's okay. And then we're just gonna chuck in our own exit stroke here, because I can't make Madarasz's look good. Just gonna put on one of those at the end. That's about as good as it's gonna get for me on that one. Yeah. Alright, I still have some paper here. James, if we take a break from Madarasz signatures, any requests? I know James and Fozzie are still in the chat, Skeet's still in the chat. Any requests? Some really quick signature combinations or letters or names or words? Give me a word. Oh, come on, Nib Snap. What you gotta do that for? Do lemon sig on the Healy letter. Oh, okay. Wait, which... Remind me where that is. I don't know if Walker watches these streams, but Walker, if you do, I feel like you should do your name with the one ascender and the K like that. Or, doesn't have to be that version, because I have a loop here, but the non-full looped ascender K, I think is good. Scrapbook F, K. Give me a sec, I'll find it. Is that a request for you or for Hero? Fozzie? Draco something something? I feel like I legitimately want to write Draco something something. Here, it's probably going to take my phone a minute to load that PDF. Actually, no wait, I can load it in a different app. Give me a second. MrMGWard books. Scrapbook F. Page 72. God, this letter is so beautiful. Why is the app not... Why is the app not loading it? There it is. Okay, good. I'll show this so people on screen can see it. Oh, you want the tiny little H and the B? With the shaded Spencerian lowercase letters? Get focus. Zoom out a bit. That's the one you're wanting, James? So delicate. I mean, honestly, everything I've seen of Lemon, I gotta figure out how to say his name, is amazing. One of my favorites, though, is when he just writes, like, without the HB, he just writes, like, Lehman, like when he does, like, scripts it Lehman, or when Lehman's just, like, at an angle on its own on or on an envelope or something. So good. Cool, we can write that. That's not too challenging. Tiny little H and B. We'll write Lehman first. And then we'll write Draco something something for Fozzie. Hardly shaded, this L. Oof. My shape isn't as nice as his. Damn, I just snapped ink through my JC Kinney that was good. Darn it. What's going on with me now? I should have quit while I was ahead. Oops. His shades are way bigger than mine are. I do the HB before I do the exit stroke. HB Lehman or Lemon or Layman. We're not sure. His exit stroke is huge on his L though. I'd have to bring that. That's gotta go around the entire thing. Maybe I'll try that one again in a minute. But first, I'm gonna write. Oh, you make me do a D, Fozzie? Of all the mean things you could do at the end of my stream. Ugly. Non-acceptable. I wrote capital D's at the beginning of the stream and they were nice. went a little bit too extreme on that exit stroke. Draco Malfoy. I decided not to write Draco something something. The D is just not a... I feel like my nib is misaligned because I'm getting more snappy snaps right now. For me, it's just the angle of the oval that everything gets angled weird when I do the D. It never feels good. If I relax, it's much better. But the fact that it's a capital D stresses me out, so I don't relax. It's just an annoying letter to me. Ooh, that looks like a weird D-O combination. The shade would just be smooth. Then I'd be happy with that. But the shades just aren't smooth on the capital D. Ugh, too far apart. Do that same exit stroke Madarasz did. Finish it off Madarasz style, but not Madarasz style because I can't do it. Can't do it. Alright, snappy nib. Let's write one more thing and then we'll call it a night. I gotta work on that exit stroke. I mean, it's not one that I'll use myself, but I'm replicating work. I need to be able to do it. Let's get a really nice capital G. finish off the night. Too big. Let's make that smaller and cleaner with a better shade on it. Can do. That's better. Oh, hairline disappeared. Finish it off with James's flourish that I can't do. That'll work. Good night, everybody. That's it for me. Thank you very much for hanging out. I think next week I'm gonna plan to go beyond 12 o'clock, so we'll get into the black light because I have rebottled my my new blacklight ink, put it in the right bottle, so I'm ready to go to blacklight. But I haven't tested out the new bottle, and I want to compare it to what the old blacklight ink was like. Yeah, it's super clear. My old bottle is like dark yellow, like pea color, dark pea, not healthy pea color. Yeah, mine's really dark as well. So yeah, next week we'll plan to go, at least I think, famous last words, I'm gonna plan to go into midnight next week. And I don't know what I'm gonna do as far as themes for the night. If you have ideas, drop them in the chat or in the comments below, or hit me up on the Discord with ideas or stuff pieces you'd like to recreate, or poetry, or who knows, whatever you guys want to do, we can experiment. Thanks for hanging out with me, everybody. It's been a blast. I had a lot of fun today. Make sure that you are falling in love with this process, and don't forget, everybody, that life should be just a bit of silliness, really. Bye.